Coach, welcome to season number 7 for you as a head basketball coach at Oklahoma State and a new Big 12. How do you view this new version of the Big 12 compared to what you've been competing against in the first 6 seasons?
You know, somehow, and again, this was my first head coaching job too, right? So not only am I 35 years old and have never been a head coach, but now it's like Bill Self and Scott Drew and Chris Beard, and I'm like, all right, I guess we're going to see how this goes, right? But we've survived, and we've had our share of success. Coached the number 1 player in the country for a year, went on to be the number 1 pick in the draft. The league is just a gauntlet. I mean, people say that about every conference, but this one is truly like you don't want to look forward. You don't want to look behind because you'll get anxiety either way. But it's truly been a great blessing for us. My family and I really enjoy being in Stillwater. The competition is what drives me. I'm a competitor by nature. That's what I love. So as hard as it's been, it's also been very enjoyable. It's been very inspiring and very much something I look forward to getting up and doing every single day to try to see if we can, hold our own with the best.
In 2021, we're getting excited about BYU going to the Big 12. We're like, oh, football, yeah, this would be great. We cover a lot of the Olympic sports. Men's basketball, it's a pretty good league, right? Oh my gosh! It's challenging, right? But the opportunity, if you have some success, and frankly, some teams sub 500 in league, make the NCAA tournament. We'll see how that plays out with 14 and then 16 next year. But man, you win some games in this league, you got a shot. So how do you approach that as a coach of? Listen, in a lesser league, we might win 25, 28 games and we're good. But in this league, we gotta defend home court and win some road games.
Absolutely, and that the key is just staying in the moment. It's one of the hardest things as coaches because you start to think, man, we may not win another game. Like you start looking at the schedule, like we may not win again. That's why you don't look too far down the schedule. Like, are we gonna win at Houston? Are we gonna win in Lawrence? Like, where are we gonna win a game at? But again, it also drives you to be your best. I really think that this league, and again, I was a first-time head coach. It's made me a better coach because you're like, if we don't work as hard as we can, we'll get embarrassed.
Yeah.
That's how good it is. So it makes you better. Iron sharpens iron, that whole mentality. But, yeah, if you hold your own at home, right, and then you go on the road and you steal 1 or 2, maybe you catch somebody on an off night, then you'll be in great position come March.
Well, Coach, you were right on the cusp of making the NCAA tournament last year. And you go 8-10. You finish 7th in the conference. What's going to push you over the edge this year? What are you bringing back that makes you feel like, okay, we were right there last year. I think we can get into the tournament this year.
Well, I think that is part of it. We've got some guys who return. I mean, we were Team 69.
Yes.
Yep.
First team
they
out.
told us, it was on the board. We were the first team to miss the cut. And that's really gut-wrenching because when you think back, you like, all right, that's like one more game, which really means 3 more good possessions somewhere, right? Maybe 1 less turnover in a game or a couple more free throws. That's how thin the line is, the margin. But it's also something that lets you know, hey, we don't have to be 16-2, right? You don't have to win every game. You got to be competitive. You can't drop 4 in a row. It makes it look bad. We dropped 5 in a row at a critical time in February last year after winning 5 in a row. That's what this league can do to you. But there's opportunity every single night. So I'm excited about the new guys we have brought in. We got a mixture of good freshmen and some transfers. But we bring back our starting backcourt. It's a guards game. We love our bigs. They protect the rim and rebound for us. But guard play really is the deal. And you get your guards to play well with confidence. They can take you a long way. We saw that with K-State last year. Marquise Noel took them to a place that they hadn't even dreamed about.
Yeah, special player.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember seeing a drop step, I think 3 years ago in college basketball. It's been a long time since anyone did that. You've said, let's work, a defense first, blue-collar mentality. How have you seen this team work so far in practice?
Well, for us, we were fortunate. We were able to start this process with this team back in June, and then we went on a foreign trip in August. And so we've got a little bit of a head start on setting the foundation with 9 new players. And I think they've really leaned into it. I think they're motivated by making sure that they're above that line this year and giving ourselves the best chance to be a part of the show and not, and we enjoyed our experience in the NIT, but that's no one's expectations coming into the year, right? You want to be on the big screen on Sunday, not on the second screen, right, on the secondary bracket. And so that's part of our motivation to really lean into each other, play unselfish, play hard, and really give ourselves the best chance, again, going through the best league in the country one more time.
Where'd you go on the foreign trip?
We went to Spain. We did Madrid, Valencia, and Barcelona.
How was that?
It was amazing.
Good for
I had
Graham.
done the trip, ironically, in college as a player myself. But, so I don't know why, but at 41 with a wife and kids, things seem a little different when you do the same thing.
Absolutely. All right, Coach, as you look at being picked to finish 10th, and again, you feel like you've got enough in play to get to the NCAA tournament, with an expanded conference, is 10th good enough, or do you feel like, we probably need to finish top 8? How do you view that?
Yeah, I mean, the battle is always to finish as high as you can, right? So you never want to assume that 10 teams are going to get in. You're going to be in a conversation on the bubble at that point, right? So you want to try to get up closer to the middle or higher of the conference standings. And like I said, what you got to do is focus on being better today. You can't look too far down the line. You can't worry about January 6th being our first game or March 9th on my first time traveling to Provo, right?
Let's go.
Regular season finale, yeah.
I'll be honest, as excited as I am to visit Provo for the first time, I'm not excited about going there for senior day. I don't really know you guys' roster that well, but I told our team on our senior day, which I'm sure will be maybe a game or two prior to that, we're going to have a couple 22-year-old kids with their parents there. And there's a good chance that when we come to Provo, we'll have guys that are there with their families, like wife and kids. And it'll be a different kind of senior day.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. There are married players. I don't think we have a dude with a kid.
There are married players for sure. There'll be some wives there.
Yeah, for sure.
It'll be a unique experience, but the first time. And
yeah.
So their motivation, right, to play for those folks is a little bit more purposeful.
Absolutely.
So, but I'm looking forward to it. I've never been there. I've heard it's beautiful. And so I'm excited about BYU being in the league. Like I said, I look up to Coach Pope. I think he does a great job. He was obviously a great player. And I've watched their teams play, and he's done a really good job setting a tone for what he wants to do.
Do you like maple donuts? Because they have a thing called a cougar tail.
18-inch long maple bar donut.
18-inch donut?
Maple bar, like it's a cougar's
tail. So
yeah.
Two things. Yes, I do love donuts. All right. So I feel like this is a setup. But my wife is a dietitian, and I think she's already committed to coming on this trip because she's never been there either, so I don't think I'm going to be able to have one.
Hey, what if it's shoot around? We just sneak you.
Well, Coach Boynton, some kale and some almond chips.
Yeah, kale will just be popping out of it, and then she'll never know what's inside. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We'll see if we get sneaky one. Okay, BYU fans are obviously very excited about the environments that the Cougars are going to play in. Stillwater's a special place. What's a Stillwater home court like for Oklahoma State?
It's amazing. And I've played as a player. I played at South Carolina, and so I went to Kentucky to play. I've been to Florida when they were really good. Thompson Bowling in Tennessee. Arkansas. I mean, been some really, really cool places. But when Gallagher Iba Arenas, when our team is good and we're playing well and our fans are engaged, I'm not sure there's a better environment. We've obviously been at Allen Fieldhouse and Ames. Those are some of the best, but I would put our environment up there with any of them because our fans are really knowledgeable about the game. And I think they were taught how to be fans by Mr. Iba and Coach Sutton.
Yes, for sure.
And so a lot of that still sticks with those people. We still have the same floor in our building from 1938.
Wow.
The original maple floor.
Really?
So there's a lot of historic feel to it. It's expanded since then. It's kind of doubled in size. So I don't know. It's been great for the environment because now you got more space. If there aren't as many people, you don't feel it as much. But it's still a great place to watch a basketball game.
That's incredible. You still have the same floor. That's awesome. I want the knowledge to come out by the following. Some fan be like, "Yo, Mike, our points per possession's 0.9. What's going on, man?" You're like, hey, "See, they know the game. I told you." Yeah. That'd be funny.
That may happen.
That would be funny.
Coach, great to talk with you. We appreciate
no problem.
the time.
I'll say one thing. They'll know the free throw percentages. They'll be telling us who to foul at the end of the game. Like,
this dude!
41. He's 42%. He sucks.
And they watch the other Big 12 games also.
Yes.
So they'll be like, yeah, we just saw him at K-State. He missed 2 free throws at the end.
It's a true sixth man.
It's a really,
great.
really traditionally rich basketball fan base.
Yeah.
A lot of the same people have been coming to games for decades on decades, and they sit in the same seats they've sat in, or they were passed down from their parents, and so it's really a family atmosphere.
That's awesome.
We're looking forward to it.
Thank you, guys. Absolutely.